The MCU's super spy, Nick Fury, is famously played by veteran actor Samuel L. Jackson, but the actor who was first approached for the role was George Clooney. The reason why it never happened, believe it or not, is because Clooney read a comic book. Welcome to the Review Desk. I'm Desmond Kerk, and today I'd like to tell you why George never played Nick Fury. Comic book fans will remember, or try not to remember, Fury's first live-action appearance in the made-for-TV film Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., starring David Hasselhoff in the main role.
From a name that stirs the imagination, from a universe where good is heroic and evil sets the screen ablaze, comes a man who will always remain a hero.
I'll get that vampire's blood if I have to suck it from her neck.
The film was an absolutely embarrassing effort that still ranks as one of the worst comic book movies to this day. Marvel was well aware of this, and in an effort to breathe new life into the franchise in the early 2000s, they approached Clooney to star as Nick Fury in a new, unrelated title.
Who are you?
What?
Who are you? You CIA? NSA? You military? Who do you work for? Who do you work for? Who are you?
This would have marked Clooney's first role as a comic book character. It's easy to see why they opted for him. He's a pretty good fit for Nick Fury. And if you take a look at this painting by Alex Ross, he'd have a shot at Reed Richards too. Like many actors of his caliber, Clooney decided to do some research on the character after accepting the role. It was here that things took an interesting turn. When he read the comic featuring the famous spy, Clooney was appalled by the level of violence and brutality shown by Nick Fury, specifically a scene where Fury disembowels a Russian enemy combatant and proceeds to strangle the man with his own intestines. This was enough for Clooney to step away from the role, as he felt the character was far too dark for him to portray. But here's the funny part. Clooney had the wrong comic. The series he read was titled Fury and was released under Marvel's Max imprint, an imprint publishing more mature material that would be deemed too controversial for Marvel's main line of books. The book was also written by Garth Ennis, known for series such as Hitman, Preacher, and The Boys, of which the last two have been adapted into TV series. If you've ever seen an episode of The Boys, you've got a pretty good idea of what kind of unique dark humor Ennis can get up to. Now, I don't know if Clooney himself set out to find this book or if it was provided to him by his team, but it's clear that somebody dropped the ball here. If Clooney had gotten a copy of Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., the original 1968 comic, he would have gotten a proper introduction to the main universe version of the character and his dealings. Fury was also supposed to appear in 2007's Fantastic Four sequel, Rise of the Silver Surfer, but because the rights to that team were at Fox, they'd have to pay Marvel for the use of Nick Fury, so the role was rewritten for General Hager, played by Andre Braugher, instead. The Fury movie Clooney was approached for ultimately never materialized, and when the building blocks for what would become the MCU were being put together, rising producer Kevin Feige suggested the studio approach Samuel L. Jackson for the role. Jackson, in a way, had already portrayed Fury in the comics. As I mentioned, Max was one of Marvel's imprints for releasing different kind of material that usually takes place in a different universe. In 2000, the company launched an entire line called Ultimate Marvel, a universe that was meant to update the House of Ideas characters, their origins, and make them more accessible to new readers without needing to wade through decades of history. Many aspects of the Ultimate Universe were used in the MCU. Updated costumes, Thor sporting a beard, the design of Stormbreaker, and of course, the look of Nick Fury. In his first appearance, the Ultimate Nick Fury was shown to be an African-American man as opposed to his Caucasian counterpart from Earth 616. In later appearances, he's deliberately patterned after Jackson. This universe version of the Avengers team is called the Ultimates, and there's a hilarious scene from issue 4 of their self-titled series where they discuss who should be cast in the event of a feature film being produced about them. Fury is quick to state that none other than Samuel L. Jackson would be fit to play him. As I stated before, the plans for a Clooney-led Fury film were in the works before the MCU was being formed, so there's no guarantee he would have transitioned to that universe. After all, Edward Norton was replaced as the Hulk, and even Terrence Howard was replaced when the MCU was already starting to pick up steam with Iron Man 2.
Next time, baby.
Jackson has made quite an impression on fans of the MCU movies, and his portrayal of Nick Fury is well received. He himself has also stated that he very much enjoys the role. So, what do you think? Would you like to see Clooney take a shot at the role of super spy Nick Fury? And do you think he himself regrets walking away because of a simple mistake? Let me know in the comments below.